So I was gonna wait for this one, but kind of, on the way home, I watched a video and realized that we have officially, under Disney, canonized the entirety of the Marvel series. So, just so you're aware, that has happened. So we will never get a Jessica Jones who flies, has high damage resistance, and can fling cars like in the comics. We will never have a Danny Rand Iron Fist who can do more than ignite one fist. Because budget reasons, I guess. But yeah, no, I kind of miss the idea of the living weapon where he eventually, is his whole body glows. This dude, at different points, like he always could use bow fist, but then he starts being able to elbow, knee, and kick people with the same energy. So he just becomes progressively more powerful in that regard. Luke Cage is supposed to be stronger than Jessica Jones in the original comics. So if Jessica Jones could fling a car, this dude could fling it across like multiple blocks. Like he's flinging it way down the road. Let's be real. They have entirely ruined what we have as heroes for the MCU. Canonizing this is an embarrassingly bad idea. We have Kingpin who punches stone and it hurts his hand. We're talking about the guy that can punch Spider-Man through a steel door, who can get hit by a car at 60 plus miles per hour and brush it off, then rip a car door off its hinges. Yeah, that's the same guy that's affected by a stab wound visibly. And, oh yeah, can't knock a guy out in one hit? He's 400 pounds of muscle. Are you serious? The season 1 finale of him going back and forth with Daredevil in a boxing match. Are you serious? Where was his sticks? How was he actually knocking him out? Like, what? He's not, now he doesn't have superhuman strength, but neither does Daredevil. But Kingpin has always been known to push the threshold of, does he have superpowers? No, it says he don't. But man, is he strong. This dude can fling a car around, so why are we having him hurt his hand on a stone pillar? Oh, and if you don't remember where I'm talking about, that's season 3, final episode, where Kingpin versus Yas Daddy Kingpin version of Bullseye and Daredevil, oh yeah, without his suit? Like, what was up with that? Why did we literally have the suit for one episode in season 1 and not at all in season 3? And you're like, but he gave it up. What? Yeah, Spider-Man did too, but he got it back. Like, come on. Like, first off, and people want to call this stuff canon, like, I can't stand this anymore. How is it canon? I mean, is Tony Stark racist? Is that why he didn't go talk to Luke Cage for Civil War? Was he against martial artists and that's why he didn't talk to fucking Danny Rand? Like, come on. What is wrong with people? We want to, like, now, don't get me wrong. They were great stories. I can't stop watching. Just as I'm watching Jessica Jones, I'm pretending she's not, the original Jessica Jones from the comics. She's just some girl with slightly enhanced strength and is more of a detective. I mean, she's fought as a superhero under 2 different names, is flying on her comics, but yet they even make a joke in episode, I believe it was 3. Luke Cage is like, hey, can you fly? And he smiles. Oh, like the writers didn't tell him to do that because they knew they couldn't do it because of budget issues? I'm sorry, Netflix. Stop using characters that you can't afford the budget for. If you can't afford the budget to do the characters right, get the hell out of this career. Leave superheroes alone. Stop being oxymoronic. Superheroes are not realistic. Daredevil's supposed to be swinging around the town. Go look at his old comics. Those weren't just random strings in between his sticks. That wasn't him holding onto a stick and swinging like he's going down this side of the building. No, he somersaults down the building like in She-Hulk. A more accurate fighting style of him. So many people hate that. I hear, oh, but the ketchup and mustard soup. So what? I bet you don't even know his original suit was yellow and black. Do you also? No, you probably don't also know that it's Demolition Man that is the reason why he got the iconic red suit. Because it was a little weird having 2 superheroes in a yellow suit with a black shirt and a big D on it in red. Sounds like the original Daredevil suit. Huh. Also, throughout that entire series, I know it's budget issues, but can we finally have some actual choreographers come in that don't just go, hey man, throw some knees and kicks and grab their arm and throw them every once in a while and jump off the wall and do something spinny and yeah, we'll call that ninjutsu. But I couldn't tell the difference between ninjutsu and the other things. Like until Danny Rand, there wasn't actual enough choreography work for it to even be accepted as something different than ninjutsu. So let's be really clear and outright honest. All these YouTubers out there are literally hating for no reason. Like, I can't wait to give my perspective on the Marvels. That's embarrassing if you think that was a bad movie. Like, are you serious? That was better than most of the stuff from like earlier phases. People are like, no, phase 1 and 2 were perfect. Oh, screw you. Iron Man 2 sucked. Iron Man 3 sucked. Thor 2 sucked. Thor 3 sucked. And you're like, no, that one was really good. Then why'd you hate the fourth one? If Thor 3 was so good, why did you hate it done another time? Oh, wait, let me guess. It was never good to begin with? Now, let's think about another one for an instance. Oh, you want to call everything done 5 movies? What 5 movies from phase 1? You mean Hulk? Disney didn't do that. Disney had nothing to do with that. And just so you know, Captain America is a 50-50 for people. If you are not into like movies like Lethal Weapon or, you know, The Shooter or anything like that, it's probably pretty honest of a thing to say that it's not your thing. So that's a 50-50. Thor 1 was a cliche story that should have taken part over at least 2, if not 3 movies, and it was rushed. He went from the arrogant, young, unwise king to a true king in like 3 days. Yeah, I rewatched it. It really wasn't that good. It was good because, like, yeah, the best thing we had was, you know, some of the older stuff. Like, I mean, it's not hard to understand why people like the Daredevil Netflix series compared to Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but at least Ben Affleck's Daredevil used his powers more accurately. Like, what do you mean in season 2 he couldn't hear the hand? You do realize that doesn't matter, right? Are you telling me his sense of smell went away? You're telling me the superpower part of it that makes everything kind of visible for him? You know, I want you to picture saying everything kind of like that Matrix view with the numbers falling down over everything in the first Matrix movie towards the end. Would you say it would be hard to see somebody moving towards you? No, it would be pretty easy. So that was embarrassing and disrespectful towards Daredevil entirely. Like, I'm sorry, I just cannot look at these series. It's like, where's the healing powers, enhanced healing of Luke Cage and Danny Rand? Danny Rand has chi. Where is his improved healing from it? It says Luke Cage has 3 times the healing speed. Where was that? Also, while speaking of Luke Cage, let's go over this. Someone in the comments told me that I needed to watch Luke Cage. I didn't know what I was talking about. They mentioned a Chitauri. It becomes a huge part of the plot. Bullshit. That entire season, they do not mention Chitauri or energy weapons. The DODC, the FBI looking for it. They don't mention the Tinkerer. They literally mention nothing with the MCU. And people want to go, but it was Chitauri tech. I'm like, no, they literally said it's a metal from space. Alien metal. Okay, cool. I can deal with that, but they didn't say Chitauri. Actually, until Jessica Jones, they didn't mention alien invasion. They didn't even say the words aliens or invasion. Actually, if you go back to my video on season 1 of Daredevil, I will cover how you know from episode 1, the first 5 minutes, that this stuff wasn't canon because they call it the event and a whole lot of stuff crashing down and falling from the sky and almost destroying Hell's Kitchen. But wait, wasn't the Battle of New York when Loki, an Asgardian god, led an alien invasion, the Chitauri, to destroy Earth and conquer it? That doesn't sound like a bunch of stuff falling. I mean, they didn't even mention Portal, Aliens, Loki. They didn't mention the Avengers. I mean, season 2 of Daredevil, they go, Hell's Kitchen is literally the center for vigilantes. Why? Because Jessica Jones, Punisher, Daredevil. What about the Avengers? By season 2, Spider-Man's running around in his little cloth suit, right? Kind of makes me wonder, did people just never rewatch those series as much as they said they were that good? Because as I was watching them, I literally went through and wrote down point for point, like, what's wrong. And, like, just for a little teaser real quick. Where'd it go? Here it is. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it happens in the rest of Jessica Jones season, but like, where did Luke Cage bar go? Oh yeah, season 1, episode 3. Quote, Luke Cage. So, there's me, there's you, there's the big guy and his crew. Are there anybody else? Oh, I mean, just, Spider-Man, he's right over there. I mean, Ant-Man, Ant-Man had happened. What else has happened? Oh, yeah, London, Thor 2, Winter Soldier's a thing. Captain America 2 happened. Big, huge helicarrier fell down. Weirdly not mentioned. But yeah, no, it gets worse as you go through the seasons, realistically. But no, I just had to make a video on this real quick, just kind of throw out my points, because this is entirely disgraceful that we are not dual timelining this. And yeah, I'm going to shower after everything I've done today, and I'm going to make the short up for the dual timeline. I want to explain how Netflix series is a variant timeline and how we can just remove some stuff, replace it with the, Disney history, where we actually have a Kingpin on top and not climbing up to the position that he earned his name, that he actually didn't even get referred to as Kingpin till season 3. And if you remember, in season 2, while in prison, he wasn't called Kingpin. The guy he killed called himself Kingpin, and that's where he got the idea. Oh, also, what the hell was up with him killing his father? Like, is that some other comic origin that's not in the Marvel Encyclopedia? Because, like, it doesn't mention that in there. I can't find a video on his history mentioning that. It's all the same story. He was on a robbery with his father. He was always trying to impress his father, wanted to partake in his father's business, but he fell behind. I think he was on one of those kind of, fire escape ladders, and he couldn't climb up, or he couldn't reach it, and so he gets arrested, goes into jail, and by the time he comes out, he's learned a whole bunch of stuff that he needed to be able to become Kingpin. And so he started his mission to grow. What's also weirdly removed from his backstory is he's got kids. Like, look up the Rose. He's one of the rivals of Kingpin, and it's his son, one of his sons. And he found out about his father's business and felt betrayed and wanted to take it from him. So where is he? We also have the Hand, and yet we don't mention the Mandarin, who's one of the actual leaders of the Hand. For some reason, they were derived of all of their magical abilities and good choreography. Sorry. Budget problems. So, my opinions will continue to come out on this series, but when I say opinion, let me clarify something. I don't care if you have an opinion that differs from the MCU or something. That's fine. Like, we could have done so much better than the MCU. I mean, they have Hank Pym, not as Ant-Man, and Hank Pym hating Tony, and yet Ant-Man and Iron Man are one of the founding members of the original Avengers. Like Ant-Man, Wasp, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. They all came together originally to stop Hulk. Then Loki, who was, manipulating him. Yeah, kind of like the plot of the first movie, but entirely different team. So we could have done a lot better if we wanted to be accurate. But when I say things like this, I'm going to bring up all sorts of topics. Like, look, I do believe that we should follow Stan Lee's legacy and put some characters not as all white. Like, I'll be real. But I'm also going to speak out against making Batman black. Let's not erase the history of what people went through in our own country. To say that Batman could have been a black guy is to sit there and say that the Waynes, with everything their family was in power and in politics in the 50s and 40s. Yeah, no. Please don't erase history. We should remember the bigger people. You want to make Robin black or Hispanic? Like, dude, give me the knife throwing guy from Umbrella Academy as the new Robin. Please. That would be so cool. Or better yet, make him Red Hood. I mean, come on. So you could do all sorts of changes. But let me say the other part. I bet you have no idea who Maggot is, who Dr. Voodoo is, who Bishop is, who Night Thrasher is, and I've got a list. Let me explain it to you. They're all really epically cool, tied in across the Marvel universe, traditionally and originally black characters. And another thing, when people talk about color washing white characters, I don't want to hear any of you or see any of you in the comments saying, oh, but Netflix never did that. Shut up. Jon Bernthal was not a white looking character. And even if he is white, he's mixed. And I don't know if you've ever seen, The Punisher before the Netflix shows. Like probably a lot of you that disagree are just Netflix and, Fox fans. Sorry, but those were crap versions. And, oh yeah. Punisher's always been like white as hell. Okay? And I gotta say that I am glad that an actor like Jon Bernthal found the part because he redefines it in a way that the Batman redefined not Joker. Oh, please get rid of that. That was atrocious. Don't have year 10 Joker on year 2 Batman. That's just disrespectful to the story. You had a fucking amazing golden gem to begin with. But let's be real. They redefined the Riddler. The Riddler's now a force to be reckoned with. Not just some goofy comic relief character, which, growing up as a kid, it was cool. But I actually like being able to have one that's a little kind of scary, intimidating. It's nice. And also finally having the first live action Batman that's accurate, like focuses on the detective, with Batman being the number one detective in the DC universe. It's kind of important. I mean, DC is Detective Comics, so your number one detective, when presented in a movie, should show detective stuff. Also, let's think about how no other Batman besides this one doesn't kill. Why does Batman not kill? Oh, yeah. Because he thinks that if he kills someone, their kid could end up becoming him. And he doesn't ever want to do that to somebody. He doesn't want to put someone through what he went through. Also, if he was a killer, wouldn't that make the Red Hood story and the Damian Wayne story a little weird? Like, didn't they have problems with him not killing, and specifically Red Hood, with him not killing Joker? So if Batman's supposed to kill, what's the point of all of those storylines, plots, and, his backstory of why he doesn't kill? Like, why is it all there? So, regardless how you feel, the shiny vampire played the best Batman in live action we have ever gotten, period. And it's just embarrassing that WB goes, oh no, we're not going to have this one in there. Because the director's like, I don't want it connected to the rest of the DC universe. So what? You're a writer. You're a director. Direct and write what we're doing, or go do something else. I'm tired of writers and directors who are like, I don't want it to be connected. Then get out of comic books. Seriously. Like, you wouldn't sit there and write a Star Trek story with just a ship and never contacting home base or anything. You would have to have a reason for them to be lost. But if the whole point of that Star Trek series was they were lost from what? See, it was still connected. You still had some basis. But the entirety of the MCU is completely devoid of this. So, it's just sad that the Netflix series make me congratulate Ben Affleck's Daredevil. It's really sad because that was like the worst thing in Marvel at the time. And yeah, we gotten some worse. Like most people that are in the comments probably won't even know that there was an original Fantastic Four, Thor, Captain America, and I forget what else, but there was another hero on the Marvel side that had a movie already. And people don't remember. And it's like, damn, it's really sad how they were more accurate a lot of times compared to the Netflix series that actually have the budget. And it's not like they didn't do the research when they even joke about her not being able to fly, when they joke about how strong she is. It's embarrassing. So, yeah, I had to make this one, but I'm going to continue putting out other things out there and continue to cover these series individually. If there's something outside of the Netflix series y'all think I should cover, like, hey, y'all think it's worth me looking up Cloak and Dagger, The Runaways, the Shield, Agents of Shield show, any of those other ones that are not the Netflix series, go ahead. But be on the lookout for the Marvels review, and at some point, when we have enough progress, I will be getting back to some of the tabletop content. But sorry, the comments have kind of stolen my ability to ignore this. So, follow along. Catch you later.